If you logged into Disney Plus yesterday to watch a show, you probably didn't realize you were stepping into a digital trap.
Right, a trap that was like meticulously designed by behavioral psychologists and software engineers.
Exactly. I mean, for over a year, the entire tech and entertainment world was told the exact same story. We all thought 2026 was supposed to be the end of an era.
Oh, absolutely. We were all preparing for the funeral of an absolute icon of the streaming age.
Yeah, the standalone Hulu app. The whole narrative was that it was going to be subsumed, deleted, and just entirely sunsetted into the Disney machine.
Which made sense at the time, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But then, in this really quiet, sudden reversal on May 2026, a decision came down that just sent shockwaves from Silicon Valley all the way to Sunset Boulevard.
The script was completely flipped.
Yeah, Disney confirmed there are actually no plans to shut the standalone app down.
And, the industry narrative had been locked in for months, making this just a massive pivot.
A huge pivot. So today, our mission for this deep dive is dissecting the corporate mechanics that are basically dictating your Friday night binge watching.
Because while that neon green app survives for now, what is happening under the surface is way more complex than just a simple change of heart.
For sure. We've brought together this massive stack of sources. We're talking deep dive reports from Luminate, Variety, Next TV, and The Observer.
Which we need, because we are looking at hidden technical plumbing, some really formidable legal roadblocks, and these aggressive pricing strategies.
Right, strategies that are actively shifting everything you thought you knew about your subscriptions. We're going to uncover exactly why Disney pulled this 180, what it actually means for your wallet, and how this intricate web of data architecture is driving the future of streaming.
It's a lot to get through.
It is. So, okay, let's unpack this. Because Disney has officially shifted to what they're calling a long-term dual app strategy.
According to those reports from Variety, the surface-level explanation is that they realized a huge chunk of their 50 million U.S. subscribers simply prefer the standalone Hulu experience.
Which I get, but it creates a really bizarre user experience dynamic.
I mean,
well, it feels like walking into a massive modern department store, only to find they've kept a completely separate, slightly older boutique open out in the parking lot.
right. And it's selling like half of the exact same items.
Yes. It's like when a celebrity couple announces a breakup and then you see them holding hands at Nobu a week later. Like, are they together? Are they separate? We're all just confused.
It's very hot and cold.
Exactly. And if they are keeping the app separate, why did Disney's CTO, Aaron LaBerge, refer to this integration as a massive lift?
Well, what's fascinating here is the sheer scale of the back-end reality. You have to look past the user interface that you actually see on your smart TV.
Okay, so what's going on behind the scenes?
While the storefronts remain separate, the digital warehouse behind them is now one giant unified entity. Disney technologists didn't just casually link Hulu to Disney Plus.
Right, it's not just a hyperlink.
No, not at all. They had to physically move, re-encode, and standardize over 100,000 individual creative assets.
Okay, let's drill into that for a second, because 100,000 assets sounds like a lot, but, to the average person, a movie is just one file.
Yeah, that's a common misconception.
What exactly counts as an asset in this context, and why is it so incredibly difficult to move them? I mean, 100,000 assets is more baggage than a reality TV star on a girls' trip.
That's a good way to put it. The actual video file is just the tip of the iceberg. An asset includes every localized subtitle file in dozens of languages.
Oh, wow, I didn't even think about subtitles.
Yeah, plus every audio dub track, every trailer, and all those little key art thumbnails you scroll past.
That adds up fast.
It really does. And remember, Hulu is a 16-year-old streaming service. Its content comes from a massive array of different studio partners and broadcast networks.
Right, they don't just own all of it.
Exactly. Over the years, those partners delivered files in different aspect ratios, varying frame rates, and entirely different metadata languages.
So they weren't just copying files from one hard drive to another, like a USB stick.
Far from it. They had to translate a decade and a half of fragmented digital history into a single, cohesive language. They had to tear it down to the studs.
That sounds like an absolute nightmare for the engineers.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Think about it. If a user is watching a Hulu show inside the Disney interface, the player cannot crash just because an older subtitle file is formatted in some archaic code instead of Disney's proprietary standard.
Right, the user just sees an error and gets mad.
Exactly. So they had to ingest all of that fragmented data and recast it so the metadata fit perfectly into a unified digital ecosystem.
Building one master media library with consistent formatting for the entire Walt Disney Company.
Right. So to go back to your retail analogy, they kept the two different store signs out front, but they completely knocked down the concrete wall between the stock rooms.
That is the perfect way to visualize it.
And they undertook this massive infrastructure project because a unified backend is the foundational requirement for everything else they want to achieve.
Like what?
Well, everything from advanced algorithmic recommendations to highly targeted advertising. Without standardizing those 100,000 assets, the features rolling out to consumers today would be technically impossible.
Okay, but organizing 100,000 assets isn't just like an IT exercise to keep software engineers busy. The immediate payoff for you, the consumer, actually hit screens on May 19th, 2026.
Yes, the big update.
Right. This is where the user actually feels the weight of that stockroom wall coming down. Disney rolled out profile syncing for bundle subscribers.
And the mechanics of this are pretty wild when you see it in action.
They really are. If you have the bundle, your Hulu watch history, that My Stuff list you never actually finish, and your hyper-specific algorithmic recommendations now appear directly inside Disney Plus.
With a few necessary guardrails in place, of course.
Right, they're just dumping everything everywhere.
No, they've intentionally walled off kids' profiles for users under 18 to keep mature Hulu content away from younger viewers.
Which is smart, obviously.
Yeah, and this syncing doesn't apply to Hulu Plus live TV accounts just yet either.
But for standard bundle user, the barrier is gone. If you're halfway through an episode of The Bearer-Only Murders in the Building on Hulu, you can just close that app, open Disney Plus, and it's sitting right there in the continue watching row.
It's seamless.
It is. But I think the most aggressive move is aimed at people who only subscribe to Hulu. They can now log into the Disney Plus app using their Hulu credentials.
Right, they get a taste test.
Exactly. A small sampling of Disney Plus and ESPN content just to show them what they are missing out on.
A classic strategy.
But it's rubbing some people the wrong way. I was looking at online reactions, and a user named Xander on CBR perfectly captured a lot of people's frustration. He just said, no thanks, just keep the content where it belongs.
People are very protective of their curated spaces.
For sure. Is this first one's free approach just a classic trap to squeeze more money out of standalone users?
Well, this raises an important question about consumer choice versus corporate ecosystem building.
How so?
From a behavioral design perspective, this isn't really a trap. It is a masterclass in friction reduction.
Friction reduction.
Yeah, think about the historical hurdles of acquiring a new subscriber. The marketing department had to convince you to download a new app, create a new username, verify your email.
And the absolute hardest part, getting up off the couch to find your credit card and type in 16 digits.
Exactly. There's an immense amount of friction. And every single step is an opportunity for the consumer to just abandon the process.
Yeah, when you break it down like that, you realize how fragile a digital transaction really is.
Totally. By allowing Hulu-only subscribers to log into Disney Plus with their existing credentials, Disney effectively eliminates all of that friction in one go.
Because your payment profile is already linked in the back end.
Right. They want you to experience the convenience of the unified platform without any barriers. You get a taste of the premium content, and upgrading to the bundle becomes a one-click process.
It transforms a hard upsell into just a natural, effortless extension of what you were already doing.
Precisely.
Well, here's where it gets really interesting, though, because reducing friction only works if the destination looks financially appealing.
Which is where the pricing math comes in.
Oh, the math is aggressive. Looking at the Luminate data, the numbers are just staggering. Disney has raised prices on its streaming portfolio for 3 Octobers in a row.
It's becoming an annual tradition at this point.
Seriously. Since 2022, the ad-free price of Disney Plus hasn't just crept up, it has skyrocketed by 140%.
That's a massive jump in a very short window.
It went from $7.99 just 3 years ago to $18.99 a month today. And even the ad-supported tier jumped to the point where it's now $4 more per month than Netflix's equivalent plan.
Which seems counterintuitive, right?
Yeah, it does. Now, I know this is classic decoy pricing. It's the behavioral economic strategy where you deliberately price one option terribly just to make another look like a no-brainer.
Like the classic magazine subscription example.
Exactly. You offer a digital sub for $50, a print sub for $100, and a digital plus print bundle for $100. They don't actually want you to buy the print-only version.
Right, it just exists to make the bundle look like free money.
Yeah, but Applying decoy pricing so aggressively in the streaming world where users can cancel with one literal click seems incredibly risky.
It is risky.
How are they pulling this off when Netflix has basically already won the streaming wars?
The strategy only works if the perceived value of the bundle drastically outweighs the pain of the standalone price hike.
So they are anchoring us.
Exactly. The standalone price of $18.99 isn't really meant to be competitive with Netflix. It is entirely designed to anchor your expectations.
Okay, I see where this is going.
Once your brain accepts that $18.99 is just the cost of entry for Disney Plus, the fact that the Disney Plus and Hulu bundle duo costs only $1 more per month feels like a systemic loophole.
You feel like you're exploiting them as a savvy consumer.
Precisely. You look at the pricing page and think, I would be financially irresponsible not to spend a single extra dollar to get an entirely separate, massive library of content.
That is psychological warfare with Mickey Mouse ears on.
It really is. And the Luminate data proves this psychological mechanism is functioning flawlessly.
The numbers back it up.
Absolutely. Once Disney began integrating Hulu content into the Disney Plus app and tweaking these pricing tiers, subscriptions for the Bundle Duo package just surged.
By how much?
They jumped from 5.8 million to 15.4 million in a single year.
Wow, from under 6 to over 15 million.
Yes.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Well, this is why your subscription bill feels like a moving target.
It's calculated pricing psychology designed to guide you into that bundle.
Because once you have the bundle, your relationship with the service fundamentally changes, right?
It changes the most vital metric in the entire subscription business churn.
How often people cancel.
Right. A bundle subscriber is statistically far less likely to cancel their service month to month.
Even if you aren't using both apps equally.
Exactly. Even if you only watch Hulu 90% of the time, the presence of Disney Plus for your kids, or for that one Marvel show you might watch next month, creates a perception of high utility.
You become a deeply retained, stable customer.
You do.
Okay, but if the bundle strategy is flawlessly migrating everyone into a unified backend, and this decoy pricing is successfully pushing 15 million people into the combined subscription, that raises a pretty glaring question.
Which is?
Why keep the Hulu app alive as a standalone entity at all? If the stockroom wall is down, why not just merge the storefronts completely and save on the overhead of running two different apps?
Now we get to the really messy part.
I figured the answer had to lie in Hulu Plus Live TV. I mean, it costs $82.99 a month and accounts for over a third of Hulu's subscriber base.
It's a massive revenue driver.
But what exactly is the roadblock here?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, we have to examine the legal and technical labyrinth of live television broadcasting.
It's not just like streaming a movie.
Not at all. Hulu plus Live TV does not operate like a traditional streaming library. It operates under incredibly complex linear channel agreements.
And there's that shocking twist nobody really saw coming regarding their live TV partnership.
Yes. Recently, Hulu entered into a joint partnership with Fubo to handle aspects of this live streaming infrastructure.
Which is wild. Adding Fubo, an entirely separate corporate entity with its own tech stack and legal obligations into the mix, just sounds like a logistical nightmare.
It creates a massive bottleneck for integration. And you also have to understand the friction of local affiliate broadcasting.
How does that play into it?
Streaming an on-demand movie globally involves sending one digital file to millions of people. Streaming live TV means negotiating with the specific corporate entities like Sinclair or Nexstar that own the local affiliates in every single zip code.
Right, the local ABC, NBC, CBS stations.
Exactly. The platform has to map the user's IP address to their local market, legally wall off that broadcast feed from someone in the next town over, and seamlessly insert targeted local advertising into the live feed in real time.
So the infrastructure required for dynamic live ad insertion during, say, a local football game is entirely different from the infrastructure built to stream a static Disney movie.
100%. The Disney Plus application was fundamentally architected as a static on-demand platform.
So you can't just shove live TV into it.
No, merging a live, regionally fractured, dynamically ad-inserted broadcast television product into that specific app is a thorny technical and legal mess.
So keeping the Hulu app alive essentially acts as a necessary holding pen for these live TV complexities.
Right. It buys them time while they untangle the local broadcast rights and figure out exactly how the Fubo partnership is going to evolve.
Which brings us to the final and perhaps most significant shift in Disney's corporate strategy. And this is fascinating because it changes how the industry even defines success.
The Observer report really highlighted this shift.
Yeah, according to the Observer Report, starting this fall, Disney is following Netflix's lead. They will completely stop reporting their quarterly subscriber numbers to the public and to Wall Street.
Which is a huge departure from the norm.
It really is. For the last 5 years, raw subscriber count was the only metric that mattered. It was a total gold rush. If you added millions of users, your stock soared. If you lost users, you were punished.
Is all anyone talked about during earnings calls.
So why obscure that number now?
Because the macroeconomic reality has fundamentally changed. The era of growth at all costs, which was largely fueled by low interest rates, is over.
The bubble burst.
Pretty much. Disney CFO Hugh Johnston stated explicitly that raw subscriber numbers are no longer a meaningful metric for evaluating the business.
So what are they pivoting to?
They are pivoting to focus purely on engagement and profitability.
Interesting.
In this new paradigm, Disney does not care if they maintain two separate apps. They don't care if you click a green icon or a blue icon on your television.
As long as you're in the building.
Exactly. What they care about is the sheer number of hours you spend inside their ecosystem, specifically watching their ad-supported content.
Let's break down the economics of why that ad-supported tier is suddenly the golden goose. Because a premium subscriber pays $18.99 a month. And that's a flat cap.
Right. There's a ceiling on that revenue.
Whether they watch 1 hour or 100 hours, Disney gets $18.99. But the ad-supported tier fundamentally changes that math.
It shifts the entire model from a flat subscription to a recurring revenue engine.
Because of the advertisers.
Yes. Advertisers pay based on CPM cost per mil, or the cost per 1,000 views.
Okay, so every ad view is pennies that add up.
Exactly. If a user on the ad-supported tier watches 40 hours of television a month, Disney is serving them dozens, if not hundreds, of highly targeted commercials.
Wow, so the revenue generated from selling that ad inventory far exceeds the flat fee of a premium subscription.
By a landslide. A highly engaged user on the cheaper ad tier is infinitely more profitable than a premium user who rarely logs in.
As long as you are engaging with the content and watching the ads, they are winning this new war of profitability.
They absolutely are.
Okay, so to summarize the sheer scale of what we've covered today, the takeaway is clear. The Hulu app isn't going anywhere, at least not in the immediate future.
Sticking around.
Yeah. Disney is executing this brilliant strategy to have it both ways. They're maintaining the standalone brand identity, that slightly edgy, mature vibe that clearly resonates with millions of users.
The brand that stars like Selena Gomez and Jeremy Allen White have really helped build.
Exactly. But simultaneously, they have aggressively demolished the wall between the stockrooms. They merged 100,000 digital assets to create this unified technical foundation.
All while utilizing masterful decoy pricing to guide you seamlessly into their bundled ecosystem.
Right, and they're using the standalone app to safely house the legal labyrinth of live local television. So you don't have to delete your neon green app today, but make no mistake, you are now operating entirely within a unified Disney machine.
And stepping into that unified machine leaves us with one final, deeply provocative reality to consider.
What's that?
Well, we know that alongside this asset merger, Disney has implemented a newly integrated ad server across all these platforms.
Oh, right.
It's a proprietary internal system they call Mission Control. And we also know they are actively shifting their focus away from raw subscriber counts and toward maximizing your engagement hours.
Which we just talked about. So how do those connect?
If the back end is now completely unified, Disney is no longer just tracking isolated behaviors on isolated apps.
Oh.
Through Mission Control, they are now actively cross-referencing your children's animated movie habits on Disney+, your late-night mature drama binges on Hulu, and your live sports reactions on ESPN.
They are synthesizing all of it.
They are synthesizing all of those data points into one massive, comprehensive, and highly valuable digital profile.
That is wild to think about.
It is. As these platforms merge their underlying intelligence but maintain their separate familiar faces, the most important question moving forward isn't just what you decide to watch on a Friday night.
It's what Disney's newly unified algorithm is learning about you while you watch it.